Perfect. So we're just going to find a nice comfortable seat. And we're going to start to breathe together. All right. Inhale a little more length into your spine, lifting up through the heart. Exhale, let the shoulders melt down and back. This time, inhale, lift the shoulders up, all the way up into the ears. Draw them back. Go down. Exhale, let them slowly sink down the back. Now see how long you can hang on to each breath. And notice that just by holding on to each breath a little longer, you're choosing to come into this moment. So instead of just allowing the breath to happen automatically or on autopilot, choosing to consciously participate in this breath, in this moment. Sometimes we're all guilty of just being up in the head and letting the mind bounce around, thinking about our to-do list or yesterday or tomorrow. But you can't fully be right here in this moment if you're in the head, being in the past or in the future. So see if you can commit to coming into this moment and fully embodying this moment with this breath. Just watch how the mind over and over and over again will try to hijack this moment and pull you down the rabbit hole into the thought train. And just use this very breath, this one right now, as an invitation to come back. It's as though every single exhale, we're saying no thank you to worrying about all the problems in the world just right now. And instead we're softening that tension in the shoulders, in the jaw, in the mind. So keep this deep connection with the breath as we start to move our bodies. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Soften the shoulders down the back. Maybe your left fingertips take a little walk out to the left. Maybe they stay grounded, or maybe you find movement here through the left arm, maybe making a fist or rolling it around. So we use the pose to find the tension. Then we use the breath and the awareness to let it go. Notice how when you find that tension, you have this choice. You can just hold on to it and be like, oh, or you can just take your breath there and soften and feel it dissipate. Choose to let it go. Slowly come back up, drop your left ear to your left shoulder, and then let your head fall forward. Really feel the weight of it here. And then start to make big, slow circles with the head and the neck. Slowly come back to stillness in the center and drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Shoulders melt down. Maybe right fingertips take a little walk. Maybe you use some movement to find that tension in the neck or in the trap. And then use your breath and your awareness. Let it go. Slowly come back up, drop the right ear to the right shoulder, let the head fall back heavy, and make big slow circles the other direction. And slowly come back to stillness in the center. Inhale, lift the arms up, squeeze the palms together, lift everything a little higher. And then exhale, bring your hands onto opposite knees. Either arm in front, just notice which one is in front right now, yeah? We'll do a little cat-cow movement. Draw the belly and heart forward, look up, maybe the head drops back. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, round it back. See how long you can hold on to this move and this breath. One more time, make it last just a little bit longer. Slowly come back to stillness in the center, rooting to the sit bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, where can you soften? Grow visibly softer through the face and shoulders. And then slowly turn your head, gaze over your right shoulder, maybe even a little past your right shoulder. Try to see back behind you a little bit. Find some tension, and then let it go. Slowly look back through center and over to the left. Take your time. Look as far as you can. Lengthen on the inhale. Soften on the exhale. Slowly come back to center. Notice with your arms on top. Inhale, arms up. Squeeze your palms, lift up. And now opposite arm on top. Oh, wait. Yeah. Opposite arm on top. Again, we'll do that cat-cow. Inhale, shine it forward. Look up. Fill up. Exhale, round it back. 2 more. After that last one, come back to neutral, root down to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften, gaze over the left shoulder. Maybe using your hands a little bit to almost find a little bit of a twist here. And then let something go on the exhale. Slowly, slowly back through center and over to the right. A little further. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to soften, maybe finding a little bit of a twist. Slowly unwind through center. Inhale the arms up. Squeeze the palms together. Lift up and then hinge forward. Or just come onto the hands and the knees. Get a nice tabletop setup here with your fingers spread nice and wide. All right, start to really root down into the hands and feel how rooting down into the hands can help you lift that space between the shoulders instead of sinking down into the between the shoulders. Start to draw the belly in and up. All right, now really start to pay attention to your spine. Visualize your spine right now. And imagine this wave-like motion coming over the spine. We're gonna make this really, really slow and kind of dramatic, all right? So start at the tailbone and start to slowly lift the tailbone up, and then see if you can feel this ripple come up each vertebrae. You might bend the elbows a little bit as you shine the heart forward, finding a little backward bend as you look up and fill up. Again, start at the tailbone, start to slowly, gently tuck it under and feel this ripple motion come all the way up the spine until you're tucking the chin into the chest and pressing into the hands. So feel this movement start at the base of the spine and radiate all the way up the spine. It doesn't have to be a big movement, just try to make it a fluid movement and imagine a wave. See if you can feel like the breath is fueling the movement. Slowly come back to stillness in the center. Inhale, peel the right hand up towards the ceiling and really roll that right shoulder back. See if you can open the heart up towards the ceiling just a little more. Maybe you bring the back of the hand to the small of the back or grab that left hip and roll the right shoulder back one more time. Don't forget to let something go right now. On this exhale, reach that arm slowly back behind you and then reach it up. And then reach it forward. Reach it forward just a little bit more and then lift the left foot up. Point the toes down and slightly in and find a little more length. Keep really consciously rooting into the fingers and knuckles and lifting that space between the shoulder blades. Now point the toe and inhale to grow a little longer from your toes to your fingertips. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Maybe your hand comes onto the back of your head to help you tuck the chin a little more, to touch the forehead to the knee. Inhale, lengthen, take your time. Visualize your spine. See if you can find that little cat-cow action here as you exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. We find a little bit of a back bend. We look up and fill up. One more exhale to round it out. Inhale to lengthen. All right, keep that foot lifted. Plant the right hand. Curl the right toes and lift it up like three-legged dog, but keep your knee bent. Let your head be heavy. Shake it out a little bit. Sink into the heel just a little bit, and then come back up on the toes. And then maybe you start to straighten the leg a little bit. Now pay attention to your left foot. It's flexed. Your toes are pointing down and in to level the hips out. Now start to feel this evenness between your feet as the right foot's pressing down, the left foot's pressing back with equal pressure. Equal pressure in your hands. Arms are straight and strong. Head is heavy. Breath is deep. Finding balance here. Inhale, come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose and slowly step it through. Lower your right knee all the way down. You're messing with my phone, dummy. Bring your hands down, shine your heart forward. Roll your shoulders back. Start to open that right hip flexor. If you already feel ready, you can bring your hands up onto the knee or reach up out of the waist. Or you can stay right here. All right, curl the right toes under if they're not. Plant the hands down and slowly step back to plank. Press into the hands, lift that space between the shoulders, lengthen through the back of the neck. Rock forward and slowly lower the knees, and then the chest, and then the chin. Untuck the toes. Press into the feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Draw the elbows in and back. Press into the feet one more time. Lift the heart. Exhale, lower down. Press it back to child's pose. And then come back up to your hands and your knees, rooting down into the fingers and the knuckles. Inhale, lift the left hand up, roll that left shoulder back, maybe tuck the hand back there or reach for the right hip to really roll that left shoulder back. See where you can soften on the exhale, let something go. Slowly reach your hand back behind you, and then straight up. And then reach it forward and square your body up. Reach back through the right foot, flex it. Look down to lengthen the back of the neck. Press back through the heel, reach forward, and then point the toe to find a little more length on the inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Picture the spine here. Inhale, lengthen, find a little backward bend. Exhale, round it out. Press into your fingers and knuckles more so you don't feel this in the wrist. All right, next time you lengthen out, we'll stay right here. Keep the foot lifted, plant the hand down, curl the left toes, come on up, three-legged dog, knee is bent. Come up on the tippy toes, sink into the heel. One more time, let the head be heavy, come up on the toes, sink into the heel. Maybe you start to straighten into the leg. Now pay attention to the right foot, it's flexed. Hips are in line, both feet are pressing out evenly, hands are pressing evenly. Soften through the traps and the neck. Come up on the toes, exhale, draw the knee to the nose and step it all the way through. Lower the left knee down. Stay right here, shine the heart forward, or bring the hands up onto the knee or reach up out of the waist. Let this breath be your invitation, coming back to fully embodying this moment with this breath. Curl the left toes, slowly step it back to plank. And lower the shoulders to elbow height and untuck the toes one at a time or at the same time, root into the fingers and knuckles to protect the wrists. Inhale, shine the heart forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees and imagine you'd sit your booty up on the ceiling and then sink into the heels. Maybe you're ready to find some stillness here. Maybe you need to pedal it out a little bit. All right, slowly walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Grab onto your elbows and start to sway a little bit here, or maybe kind of a lot. Come back to the center, release your arms, put a bend in your knees, tuck your chin to your chest. Now keep your knees really bent. Keep your head and arms heavy. Slowly come up. Knees stay bent, till the very end. Press into the feet, straighten into the legs, grow taller. Lift the shoulders up, draw them back. Exhale, let them sink down. Keep pressing into the feet to grow taller. So notice how on the inhale, we'll root down to grow a little bit taller. And then on the exhale, we'll find softness and let go. See if you can do that all at once. See if even while you press into the feet and lengthen up, if anything that's not helping you grow taller, like your face, your shoulders, if you can soften there at the same time as you're inhaling to lengthen and create space, if you're also letting go. Okay, slowly hug the right knee in and up, root down through that left foot a little more. Hug that knee nice and high, and then peel that right knee open with the right hand. We'll come into tree pose. Maybe it's easier to balance if you soften the left knee for now. If you can place that foot up high on the thigh. Remember to press that thigh back into the foot with equal pressure, and then scoop your hips forward, let the knee fall back, and then maybe you start to straighten the leg by lifting the quad up off the knee, not pressing it back to lock it. But if you start to wobble, just soften more. Soften into that knee, soften into the ankle. Maybe you bring your hands to the heart. And even there, find this equal pressure. Pressing your hands together right at the heart center. Notice the tendency for the shoulders and traps to start finding some tension. Use your awareness to let it go. If you want to challenge the balance, you can reach up or look up or sway in the wind a little bit. Keep your gaze steady. Find this nice rhythmic flow of air through the nose. Now slowly hug the right knee in and up. Bring the hands to the heart. Feel this hinge at the hips, like there's a hinge that goes all the way through the hips, keeping them in line. As you hinge forward, shoot that leg back long, point the toes down and slightly in to keep those hips in line. Bring your hands there, see if those hips are in line. And then you can bring the hands to the heart or out to the side like airplane wings. Press back through the heel. Slow motion, step back, crescent lunge. Sink in for a couple breaths here. At first you inhale to lengthen and exhale to soften, but then you can see if you can do it all at the same time. Lengthening and softening. So you're kind of isolating. You're deciding which muscles need to be active or holding tension to do the pose, and which ones are just trying to come along. The shoulders and the face sometimes want to get all tense and they think they're helping with the pose and they're not. So see if you can differentiate here, which parts need to be activated and which parts where you can let go and conserve some energy. Okay, slowly lower the right knee all the way down, untuck the toes. Now feel that left foot pressing down and drawing back to pull the left hip back, and see if you can soften and lower that right hip flexor. Inhale the arms up, float the left fingertips down, lengthen through the right side. So keep that motion of the left foot pressing down and energetically drawing back. Use this exhale, see where you can soften. See if you can find that lengthening and softening at the same time. Reach the hands up, lower them down to frame the foot, curl the right toes, lift the hips, straighten the legs, draw the hips back as those left toes come back, sinking into the right heel, maybe even right toes lift up a little bit. Trying to straighten into the legs, but mostly we're keeping the hips in line. All right, bend the left knee, press the left knee forward, shoot the left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hips. Keep your head heavy, keep your breath deep, twist it open. Square the hips, three-legged dog, come up on the toes. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Step the right foot forward, two, sit into the chair. Reach your arms forward and then up. Sink in here. Imagine there's an internal rotation in your thighs, squeezing the thighs in towards each other, towards the center. Draw your belly in, press down into the feet, and then drop a little more weight into the heels. Inhale, lengthen, reach up. Exhale, soften. One more breath to try both at the same time. Press into the feet, stand up, find a little backward bend. Heart is lifting. Slowly come back up, bring your hands to your heart and hold here. Inhale, lift your heart up into the hands. Press your hands together. Take one more sip, really fill the heart. Soften the shoulders, lower the hands down. Press into the right foot, slowly lift the left knee up. Lift it up high. Peel it open with the left hand. Find that tree pose. Pressing the foot and thigh together equally. Trying to straighten into that leg unless you need to soften. And it's kind of like a good symbolic one too, right? Like if stuff gets hard, instead of trying to control it more, like trying to control that wobble, instead you just let go a little bit. You just kind of let go of needing to control it and soften. And notice how it kind of works itself out. If and when you feel ready, you start to lift that quad up. Hands come together, press them together. Inhale for length, exhale for softness. Maybe you find a little movement here with the arms. Maybe you move the gaze up or close the eyes, but keep the gaze steady, just like the breath. All right, left knee hugs in and up. Remember the hips are in one line. They're gonna stay there, hands to heart. Hinge forward, shoot that leg back. Point the toes down and in. Maybe hands come to the hips to make sure they're still in line. Lengthen from heel to crown. Slowly step back, crescent lunge. Press the right knee forward more. Inhale, see if you can remember every single inhale, find some length. Every single exhale, let something go. And if you feel like you can do it all at the same time, try that. All right, slowly lower the left knee down, untuck the toes. Right foot roots down and energetically draws back, reach up, and then float the right fingertips down, lengthening through the left side. Notice how every single exhale you have to remember, or those traps and jaw and neck just start to tense up. You have to make a conscious choice with every breath not to hold on to that. Both arms reach up and then they lower to frame the foot. Curl the left toes, lift the left knee, shift the hips up and back, maybe straightening the legs, draw the toes back, lift the heart. Maybe you're lowering the body down towards the leg a little bit. Maybe the left heel sinks down and those left toes start to lift. Lower the right foot, bend the right knee. Shoot the right foot up and back, three-legged dog, bend the knee, pointed at the ceiling and twist your hips open. Head stays heavy. Breath stays deep, sink into that left heel. Square the hips, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Left foot steps through two. Inhale to lift up halfway. And exhale to fold. Bend your knees enough to sweep the floor. Reach your arms forward and up and sink into the chair. Find your breath. All right, so we're in the chair, yeah? Cross your right knee over your left and see if you can get your toes to wrap around the calf. Again, if it's hard to balance, soften that knee and ankle. Arms out to the sides. Right arm under left. See if you can get your palms to touch. Draw your elbows out and up. Soften your shoulders down the back. Pull the belly in and sink in a little more, softening in. Back of the neck is long, upper body's drawing back. Keep your gaze steady, your breath deep and slow. See if there's any place you can lengthen on the inhale and any place you can soften on the exhale. And then one breath to do it all. Slowly come up, lift the right knee up high. Hinge forward, shoot that leg back, keeping those hips in line. Point the toes down and slightly in, root back through the heel. Slowly step it back, crescent lunge with eagle arms. Press the left knee forward. Find a little backward bend. Release the hands, plant the right hand down. Gaze up at the left hand, roll the heart open. Roll to the outside of the right foot, sweep the left foot back, side plank. Gaze up at the left hand. Root into the fingers and knuckles to protect the wrist. Lift the hips a little higher. Reach the left arm up alongside the ear, lengthen out. Step the left foot behind you and flip it over. Let your head be heavy like a bowling ball. Soften through the face and the shoulders, reach through the fingers. Come back to plank. Optional vinyasa. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Maybe you just lowered knees, chest, chin, baby cobra. Shift your gaze up between your hands, bend your knees, and walk or hop to the top. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, fold. Inhale, come up any way you like. Maybe you reverse the swan dive, maybe you ragdoll it up. Oh yeah, you're right, come up into chair. Yeah, that's it. So sink into the heels, come up into that chair pose. You can always count on Sarah to know what's coming next. Slowly lift that left knee up and over. Maybe the toes wrap around. Soften in, sink in. Arms out to the sides, left arm under right. Maybe palms touch now, elbows out and up. Where can you soften? Can you hold on to this inhale a little bit longer? Can you let this breath be the invitation back into fully embodying this moment, this body, this very breath, not the next one, this one. Slowly come on up, lift the left knee high, hinge forward, shoot that heel back, point the toes down and slightly in, lengthen out one more time. Step back, crescent lunge, right knee presses forward, find a little backward bend. Release the hands, plant the left hand down, gaze up at the right hand, roll it open. Roll to the outside of the left foot, sweep the right foot back. Lift the hips a little higher, protect the wrist by rooting into fingers and knuckles. Right arm up alongside the ear, lengthen out, and flip it over. Let something go here. Slowly come back to plank, optional vinyasa. Meeting back in downward facing dog. I still have a tag on my shirt because I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it or not, so it keeps coming out. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right foot up high. Come up on the toes. Exhale, right knee, right armpit. Hold here for strength. Maybe you find an arm balance. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists. Press into the fingers and knuckles to lift that space between the shoulders. Drag the right knee over to the left armpit. Again, maybe an arm balance. Maybe you just hold for strength. One more breath. And then straighten that right leg out to the left. Maybe it stays on the ground. Maybe it stays lifted. Peel the left hand up. Roll the heart open. Don't forget to soften on the exhale. Don't forget to stay as long as you can right here in this breath. Lower the left hand, hug the knee to the nose. Shoot it back up like three-legged dog. And then set it down, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, sit your booty on the ceiling, sink into the heels, head is heavy. Breath is deep. Inhale, peels the left foot up. Come up on the toes. Exhale, left knee, left armpit. Shoulders over wrists, belly in and up, back of the neck long. Drag it over to the right. Press into the fingers and knuckles a little more. Straighten that leg out. Peel the right hand up. Open the heart. Lower the right hand, knee to nose, shoot it up, three-legged dog. Set it downward facing dog. Bend the knees, sit on the ceiling, sink into the heels, shake the head a little bit. Now we're gonna hop the feet up to the outside of the hands. Finding that deep yogic squat. All right, now you can stay right here, pushing the knees open with the elbows to open the hips. Or maybe you wanna reach around for a bind. Maybe you need to finagle a little bit to get a hold. We're gonna try standing up from here. It's a little bit different than birds of paradise. Grab the spine if we can. Maybe needing to lift your booty a little bit to grab a hold. And then you probably need to wiggle your feet a little closer together. And then press down into the left foot. See if you can come to standing here. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. Oh, I did it. So keep pressing down into that foot. Don't forget to let something go on the exhale. Soften through the shoulders and the traps. And slowly lower that leg back down and stand up if you're still in that deep yogic squat. Bring the big toes together to touch. Inhale, grow a little taller. Lift the shoulders up into the ears. Draw them back. Exhale, let them sink down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna hop the feet up outside the hands again. Shift your gaze, bend your knees. Find that deep yogic squat. And if that pose wasn't working for you, you can do something else. You can stay right here, prying your knees open with your elbows by pressing the hands together more. Or you can do something else. If you want to, go for that bind, reach around. And then maybe wiggle your feet a little closer together. Root down into the right foot. See if you can come on up. You should probably do it slowly, but I can only do it kind of spastically. I'm assuming that's okay for now. Keep rooting down to rise up. Stay with this breath. Let something go. Slowly lower that foot down, stand up. Press into the feet, lift up through the heart, lift the shoulders, draw them back, and then let them sink down. All right, we're gonna lift the right knee up. We're gonna try to interlace all 10 fingers back all the way below the foot. So get your whole wrist under there so you can get all 10 fingers interlaced. Okay, feel the left foot pressing down and the right foot pressing down too into the hands. And then move from the core, kick through the heel. Draw the toes back towards the face, lift up through the heart. If you get your legs straight and you want more, start to hinge at the elbows, or hinge at the hips, but bend the elbows. Maybe try to tuck the chin to the chest and bring the forehead down to the leg. You have to keep kicking through the heel as hard as you can. See if you can feel that evenness between your feet as the left foot presses down and the right foot presses forward evenly. Let something go. Slowly, gently release. Spread your feet as wide as the mat. Turn your toes out a little bit. Bring your hands to your low back. Bend your knees a lot. Scoop the hips forward. Lift the heart. Drop the head back. Inhale, come up. Step your feet together. Lift the left knee up. High enough to get that whole wrist under there. Interlace the fingers. Feel both feet pressing down evenly. But then engage your core and make the foot feel light while you kick out through the heel. But then find that balance again as the left foot presses out just as much as the right foot's pressing down. Inhale to lengthen through the crown, lifting the heart, soften through the face and shoulders. Maybe start to bend the elbows. Maybe try to touch the forehead to the knee. Slowly come back up. Spread your feet as wide as the mat. Toes out. Hands to low back. Scoop it forward. Lift the heart. Drop it back into a deep supported backward bend. Stay with your breath. Inhale, come back up. Bring your feet together and your hands to your heart. Lift your heart up into the hands by taking such a big breath, filling your body with this moment. Lower the hands down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, lengthen forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. One more optional vinyasa. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Okay, now we're gonna come down to the knees. We're gonna play with headstands or any arm balance or inversion you would like to work on, okay? If you want to use a wall for support, feel free. If you already know what you're up to, go ahead and get right into it. If you want, I will show you. Oh, bye, Sarah. Enjoy your facial. They look silly right now. Okay, if you want, I'll show you a way to get into headstand. But if you don't feel like going upside down today, you can just straighten your legs straight up towards the ceiling. You can even do that against a wall. Just put your legs straight up a wall if you don't feel like going upside down. But if you do feel like going upside down and you want me to show you a way to get into headstands, you'll bring your hands just like down dog, meaning fingers spread wide, hands shoulder width distance. And then the very top of your head will come to touch right in front of the hands, making a triangle with your head and your hands. And then you'll keep the elbows tucked in so they're stacked right over the wrists. You'll curl the toes and lift the hips and walk the feet as close as you can get them. And then you'll see if you can just lift from the core to start to float the toes up off the ground. If that's not happening, try that for a little bit because you'll be building that core strength. But if you want to go up, even though you don't have the core strength to lift slowly up, then kick one leg up and then kick a little bit to float those other toes off the ground. Maybe you can get both feet up. If that's not working for you, try bringing your elbows onto your knees and then lifting from there. All right, wherever you are, stay with your breath. We're slowly going to come on out of it. Come back to our mat. We're going to come back up to down dog one more time. One time, we'll bend the knees and sit our booty on the ceiling to lengthen the spine, and then we'll sink into the heels. And then we'll inhale and lift the right foot up high, come up on the toes. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right wrist like half pigeon pose. So maybe you lower the left knee down and then wiggle that right foot out up towards the top of the mat a little bit. I mean, ideally, they say that shin is supposed to be parallel to the top edge of the mat. Most people will never get there. That's okay, but maybe you want to start working towards there by reaching that foot a little closer. If you're going to do that, make sure to keep your foot flexed, all right? So see if you can wiggle the left toes back just a little more and bring the hips into line. And then walk the hands back by the hips and puff up the chest. And then keep the length in the spine as you walk forward. Bring your forehead all the way down to rest. If it won't come to the ground, then stack your arms to rest your forehead on. If it still won't lower down to there, stack your fists because you want your forehead resting here so that we can really, really, really let go of some of this tension in our body. Recommit to being right here in this moment. That's when the magic in yoga happens. So showing up is great. It's the hardest part, right? But then when you stay out of your head and you allow this energy to move through you in ways they figured out thousands of years ago, this yoga magic. When you can just be present and be with your breath, something starts to happen. So see if you can recommit to being right here. See if you can remember every single inhale to fill your body all the way up. And every single exhale, see if you can opt to let go of that tension. Take your breath right to the outside of that hip or glute, wherever you feel this the most. And notice how you have a choice to just kind of say, oh yeah, it's really tense, oh, or to go, to let it soften and just release with your exhale. Feel a little melting. All right, slowly come up and roll to the outside of the right hip and sweep the left foot up and around, flat on the ground outside that knee. All right, try to lower the left glute back down. We're going to turn and twist to the left. Plant the left fingertips at the base of the spine and lengthen the spine. Reach your right hand up, up, up. Turn and twist to the left. Hook that elbow outside the knee for leverage. Now use the leverage. Push the elbow into the knee to pull that left shoulder back more, more, more. Careful with your neck, just gently letting the gaze follow the lead of that shoulder. Chin is parallel to the ground. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, softness through the shoulders, the eyes, the face. Deepen your twist. Couple more breaths, fully embodied here. Allowing this moment, this prana, this life force to fill every part of you, and allowing something to happen here just by staying out of the way, out of the head. So keep your twist, so keep pressing the elbow into the knee and keep peeling that left shoulder back. Slowly, just your gaze comes to the right, over the right shoulder and beyond, a little further, and then look down, tucking the chin towards the shoulder. Now use this exhale and feel this tension melting down your back as the shoulders and traps and neck relax. Slowly unwind through center. Find a little counter twist on the right. And come back up. We're just going to unwind a little bit, cross the ankles, plant the hands. Maybe you shoot it back like chaturanga. Maybe you just slowly make your way back, downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your left foot high, come up on the toes. Exhale, left knee, left wrist, half pigeon. After you lower the right knee, maybe you wiggle that foot up towards the top of the mat just a little bit, flexing the foot. Wiggle the right toes back a little more, try to level the hips. Bring the hands back with the hips and puff up the chest. Keep the length in the spine as you slowly walk the hands out, coming down to where the forehead can rest on something. Use your breath and your awareness. Okay, we're using the pose. We found the tension. Let's see what you can do about it. Just by choosing not to attack this moment with your doubts, your fears, your judgments. So whether you realize it or not, unless you're being present, your mind is all out attacking this moment, trying to squeeze it into what it thinks it should look like, creating all of these expectations and then disappointment. And when we just stop doing that and stay present with our breath, something starts to happen. Feel that. Follow that. See if you can hold on to this breath way longer than the last one. Slowly come back up. And roll to the outside of the left hip. Sweep the right foot up and around flat. Lower the right glute. Right hand plants back behind you. Roll the right shoulder back. Inhale the left arm up, up, up. Hook the elbow. Use leverage now. Press elbow into knee to peel the right shoulder back. Chin is parallel. Lengthen through the crown. Soften where you can. Once you're empty, twist a little deeper. So don't be afraid to kind of use some muscle and bring it out. Just be mindful with your neck, yeah? Inhale finds more length. Hold on to it. Exhale finds more softness and then a little more depth. Hold on to it. One more chance to wring out your spine. Keep the depth by pushing the elbow in and peeling the shoulder back. Just gaze over the left shoulder, slowly, slowly, slowly. Past the left shoulder and beyond. Chin towards chest a little bit. One more breath to melt that tension down. Slowly, gently unwind through center. Find a counter twist on the left. And come back up. Bring your feet flat on the ground. Reach your hands forward. Actually, we're going to grab onto the big toes with the peace sign fingers and lift the feet up. And then we're going to try to straighten the right leg. And then we're going to switch and try to straighten the left leg. So keep the heart lifted to stay balanced here. Stay with your breath. If and when you feel ready, try to straighten both legs. Just to kick really hard through the heels. It's okay if the knees are bent, but once the legs are straight, it'll be easier to balance. Don't forget to stay with this breath and let something go. Now, if you're feeling really daring, You're going to keep a hold of your feet and you're going to roll back onto the back. Maybe toes come to touch the ground back there. And then maybe you can come back up and try to balance there. Try it a couple of times. It's kind of fun. Make sure to keep your neck soft. All right, now bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall down. So press the feet together to help the knees down more, to open the hips. Lift up through the heart, stay right here, or start to hinge forward. And slowly come back up. Use your hands to draw your knees back up. Now reach your hands forward and slowly roll back onto the back. Hug your knees into your chest. All right, we're going to roll it back into a plow pose. See if you can get the toes to touch the ground behind your head. See if you can soften through the neck and shoulders a little more. See if you can remember to stay with this breath a little bit longer. Now press down into the palms, use them as the brakes. Really, really slowly, come on out. Slide your hands under your booty, palms face down. Straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. Draw the toes towards the face as you press up through the heels. Squeeze the legs together. We're going to take 20 seconds to lower the legs. Press through the heels. And keep hugging everything into center. Chin is slightly tucked. Relax your shoulders and your face and your jaw a little more. Not even halfway yet. Press out through the heels. And slowly hug your knees into your chest. Now lower your feet flat on the mat, as wide as the mat. Cactus the arms, and windshield wiper your knees to the right. And then to the left. Take your time. Maybe you want to hold it on either side for a bit. Maybe you want to hook that heel on top of the knee to draw it down a little more. Maybe you can recommit for the last couple breaths we get to take here together today. Make sure to even it out if you were holding on one side. And when you're ready, slowly come back to center and hug your knees into your chest one last time. And then let your legs go long on the mat. Spread your feet as wide as the mat. Let your toes fall open. And let go. Even of letting go. So instead of trying to relax or release, just allow it to happen. Invite a deeper breath back into the body. Invite movement back into the fingers and into the toes. And invite yourself to stay in this place of calm. It's always right here for you. All right, this is not the end of your practice. This is the beginning. You did the work to get into this space. Now see how long you can stay in this space. Maybe you can stay in this space while you interact with the world. Maybe not. Maybe you can decide that staying in this place is more important than interacting with the world today. And make this the day you stay in this place a little bit longer. Maybe not. Maybe you don't have the liberty or privilege today to make that happen. Maybe you can just stay aware of your breath and stay in this place of calm, present awareness. As you roll onto either side, see if you can commit to that, to just staying with your breath, or choosing every single exhale to let something go. Notice that tendency when it creeps up to hold tension in your jaw, and your shoulders, and your neck, and let it go. When you're ready, slowly come back up to a seat. Bring your hands to your heart. Lift your heart up into your hands, fill all the way up. Let your head bow to the wisdom of your heart. Lift the thumbs to the space above the eyebrows. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. And we are in that place. We are one. Namaste.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jen. Thanks. Namaste.
Thank you guys for being here.